Episode 2, The Spider in the City, continued with wisdom. Not just any wisdom, but all the wisdom in the world. Ujoko believed that if he could collect every piece of wisdom, every proverb, every secret, every insight into human nature, he would no longer have to scurry in the shadows of men. He would rule them. In his mind, he saw himself sitting atop a giant skyscraper built of webs, looking down at humans who would come to him for answers, kneel before his silk throne, and call him Okai, the one who knows all. So Ujoko began his journey. Not on foot, of course, spiders are too proud for that. He packed his silky bag made from the threads of 10 abandoned webs, slung it across his small hairy shoulder, and climbed atop an old yellow bus headed from Nui to Enugu. The conductor was shouting, "Holy Ghost! Holy Ghost! Last one. Enugu straight." But Ujoko, invisible to human eyes, crawled between cracks and settled above the dashboard, soaking in the noise, the fumes, and the dreams of the city. In Enugu, he listened to university students debate philosophy under mango trees at UNN, crawled into the offices of professors, and stole ideas from lecture notes. He visited bookshops and eavesdropped on lovers whispering their fears to each other. He went to Ugbit Market, where wisdom hid in the jokes of women selling vegetables, in the haggling over pepper, and in the way one man looked at his neighbor's daughter. Every time he heard something new, he would spin a small silk thread and store it in his bag. Day by day, the bag grew heavier. By the time Ujoko reached Oka, he had traveled in more buses than any passenger alive. He had lived in a preacher's Bible, camped inside a politician's earpiece, and watched thousands of humans fight, reconcile, dream, and fail. He collected their sayings, their fears, their shortcuts to success, and even the sneaky tricks they used in love and business. Some wisdom was obvious: do not insult the crocodile until you've crossed the river. Others were complicated: he who knows how to eat ofunu without letting it touch his lips understands the balance of life. He stored all of them. But wisdom, as the ancestors always say, is like ogu medicine. When it becomes too much for one person to handle, it turns into madness. And Ujoko, blinded by ambition, did not see it coming. He arrived in Onitsha, the heart of commerce, determined to gather the final bits of wisdom. The city pulsed like a giant heart, with yellow buses honking, hawkers screaming gala and lacasera, and preachers commanding traffic with Bibles in hand. It was here that Ujoko planned to hide all the wisdom he had collected. He would climb to the top of the ancient Iroko tree behind O's Market, the tree no one dared to cut, and tie the bag high on its tallest branch, away from all humans. Once it was hidden, he would come down and declare himself the only keeper of wisdom. He spun a long silk ladder and began to climb the Iroko tree with the bag tied tightly to his back. But the higher, animals nearby started to listen. A lizard paused mid-push-up. A squirrel peeped from its hole. A pigeon fluttered to a lower branch. Even the breeze became curious. The Iroko tree, ancient and wise, began to hum with energy. It remembered a time when wisdom was not hoarded, when it flowed like the Njoba River. It remembered stories. It remembered people. And it did not like what Ujoko was doing. Suddenly, one of Ujoko's legs slipped. He screamed, his bag of wisdom swinging dangerously. "Papa, let go!" Nneka shouted. "Calm down. It's too much for one creature alone," but Ujoko was stubborn. He reached for a branch missed. And then it happened. The bag tore slightly, just a little, but it was enough. A gust of wind rushed through the branches, and thousands of tiny threads, each carrying a piece of wisdom, burst into the air like fireflies. They soared and scattered in all directions. Some landed in Oka. Some floated to Nsukka. Some dropped right into the open mouth of a preacher at Opa Iweka, who suddenly began to speak in parables. Others landed on a young girl selling pure water, who would later grow up to be a writer. Wisdom returned to the people. Ujoko, embarrassed and bruised, slowly climbed down the Iroko tree. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. The city had seen what he tried to do. And while some laughed, others learned. From that day, whenever people shared ideas or spoke deep truths in Igbo gatherings, someone would always say, "Even Ujoko couldn't hide." He went, the heavier the bag became. Wisdom has weight, after all. Proverbs carry the experience of generations. Secrets are not light. By the time he was halfway, the bag felt like it carried the whole of Nigeria in it. As he climbed, he did not notice that his youngest child, a curious little spiderling named Nneka, had followed him. Nneka, though young, had learned something from her time living inside a school library in Soccer. She believed wisdom should be shared. She had seen children learn, grow, and become better people because someone had taught them a lesson or told them a story. She didn't understand why her father wanted to hide it all. So as Ujoko climbed, Nneka called out from the roots of the Ujoko tree. "Papa, why are you taking all the wisdom up there?" Ujoko, startled, looked down and hissed, "Keep quiet, Nneka. This is not for children." "But why hide it?" she asked again. "What if someone falls into trouble and needs help? You don't understand," Ujoko snapped, his legs shaking slightly. "When I have all the wisdom, people will come to me for answers. They will worship me." Nneka frowned. "But isn't wisdom meant to help people, not control them?" Ujoko growled and kept climbing. But Nneka, being a city spider and bold like her generation, didn't stop. She began to shake the Ujoko tree ever so slightly, chanting a song she had learned from children playing near the railway line. Agu-o. Agu-o, if you hoard what is meant to flow, you will fall like mango in harmattan blow. At first, the shaking seemed like nothing. But as she sang louder, the other it. And Nneka. She became a legend.